Today, I'd like to talk about the value of the new covenant hidden in black gold. At first, let us find out the importance of petroleum in the lives of modern people. When we look at the picture, we can see that all these are necessaries of our lives. Then, could we sustain our lives without these? Probably we can live without cars or mobile phones or house appliances. However, how about medicine and other daily necessaries? It would be difficult to live without these. These are different cases. There is a material that is required to produce these products, which enriches our lives. That is petroleum. In our daily lives, we use petroleum and its products. For example, the mobile phone that you're holding in your hand, other plastic products, and asphalt to build roads. All these depend entirely on petroleum. Like this, there are many uses of petroleum, and there are many products that are formed from petroleum. If there is no petroleum, there would exist nearly nothing today. That is why petroleum has the title black gold. Here we can understand how important petroleum is in our lives. Secondly, let's find out how is petroleum created and extracted. The word petroleum is derived from the Latin language, where petra means rock, since petroleum is found in rock, and oleum means oil. Petroleum is a fossil fuel formed from the remains of ancient marine organisms like algae and sea plants. Millions of years ago, these organisms died and were buried into the ground. They were covered with layers of mud. Due to the high pressure and high temperature, the remains of these organisms transformed into what we know as petroleum. Petroleum was developed as an industry in the late 19th century. Until that time, people did not know the various uses of petroleum. It took a long time for human beings to recognize how important petroleum is. Even though petroleum has been used for only 100 years, it has made a large contribution for the development of human industry. Petroleum is found deep inside the earth and seabeds, several thousand feet below. And it requires sophisticated equipments to extract the petroleum. And the process to extract petroleum is complex. Third, let us find out the importance of petroleum and the new covenant. Now, petroleum is working as blood in modern society. What if there is no petroleum today in this age? We might live life like in the Middle Ages. Do you know Middle Ages? First, we should rely only on natural resources for food, shelter, and clothing. Demand for natural resources will be far above their supply, and the prices will soar, and this will cause severe inflation. Second, we will hardly go to hospitals, because hospitals operates by medical equipments and medicines. Third, we may hardly use transportation, and distribution industries will die out. We may use boats to go abroad. So there would be a huge waste of time and money. So the fact that petroleum plays an important role in modern industry resembles what the new covenant does to the people of God. New covenant are the commands of God established for our salvation and happiness of our souls, such as the Sabbath day, the Passover, and the 7 feasts in 3 times. Through the new covenant, people can become the children of God and receive the blessing of salvation. Then, what if this new covenant did not exist? Our spiritual lives will be like living in the dark ages, when there is no truth, there is no light of truth. First, we cannot receive forgiveness of sins. Due to this, we cannot enter the eternal kingdom of heaven, where there is no pain or suffering. We would live our lives on this earth in sorrow and pain without the hope for the kingdom of heaven, as it is written in the book of Romans chapter 7, verse 24. Second, we cannot become the children of God without the new covenant, in the book of Jeremiah 31, verse 31. And third, according to the Bible, God dwells in those who keep the new covenant. So when we keep the new covenant, God dwells in us and God protects us from dangerous disasters anytime. However, those who do not keep the new covenant cannot receive God's protection. So there is the church, which keeps the new covenant and knows the new covenant. That is the World Mission Society Church of God. Church of God knows the value of the new covenant, which enriches spiritual lives of saints. Let us go ahead. Discovering the value of petroleum and the new covenant. So before, the value of petroleum was not known. At that time, how did people use petroleum? Petroleum was used as alternatives when whale oil and firewood ran out. Those who did not know the value of petroleum used it as laxatives and lubricants for wagon wheels. However, due to the fact that internal combustion engine was developed in the 19th century, car industry developed in various ways, which led to the need of petroleum, increased demand of petroleum. Eventually, industries like synthetic rubber, textiles, resin, all started emerging after the World War. Now, petroleum is used from A to Z, from aspirin to zipper. Discovery of petroleum is similar to the new covenant in the Bible revealed in this age. Until the new covenant was restored, people did not know the new covenant, and people did not know the importance of the new covenant, because the new covenant became a hidden truth during the dark ages. So due to this reason, those who did not know the value of the new covenant interpreted the Bible according to their thought by themselves and established men's commandments. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 13. So people did not know the value of the new covenant for 2,000 years. However, according to the prophecy, I am the Lord, and it's time I will do this swiftly. Now the new covenant has been spread to the whole world by people who know the value of the new covenant. New covenant becomes essential for leading our spiritual lives. Last of all, let us find out the sacrifice of our Father and the reality of the new covenant. We should not forget that it was not easy for the new covenant to be established. In this last days, the new covenant has been restored, but it was not easy for it to be restored. In the case of petroleum, it takes millions of years for it to be formed or created. But today, people use it when they need it. It shows that they're unaware of the huge amount of time it took to develop petroleum. In the same way, God spent eternity to establish 6,000 years of redemption work, to restore the new covenant, and to preach it to 7 billion people in this age. The Bible also prophesies that Christ needs to come a second time to re-establish the new covenant and let us know what was hidden in darkness. When we see the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 5, it says, "Judge nothing until the Lord comes, and he will bring to light what is hidden in darkness. Accordingly, our Father unsung home restored the new covenant. So today we keep the new covenant with joy and with happiness and have the living hope for the kingdom of heaven. However, until Father restored the new covenant, what path did Father walk? He eagerly wanted the world to know the value of the new covenant. However, whenever he preached the new covenant, he was insulted and he was persecuted. Though he worked all day long, breaking stones and writing the book of truth under the dim lamp at night, he was not comforted the next morning and went out to preach the gospel. He walked such a path for 37 years. Then why do you think our Father walked this path of hardship for such a long time? It is to reveal the reality of the new covenant, so that we can receive happiness, salvation, and peace. The book of Galatians talks about two covenants, the old covenant and the new covenant. And the book of Galatians chapter 4 verse 26 talks about the reality of the new covenant. Galatians 4:26 says, "But the Jerusalem that is above is free, and she is our mother." So the reality of the new covenant is Jerusalem, our heavenly mother. So today we are the happiest people. It is because our heavenly mother is with us right here. At this moment, I want to give eternal thanks and glory to Heavenly Father for establishing the reality of the new covenant, our heavenly mother, for us. I hope that we will all reveal the glory of our heavenly Father and Mother by practicing and preaching the new covenant.